Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Frisch, and I read faces. Meet comedian Joey Diaz. I don't think you can look at anybody and not make some kind of an opinion. We all do facial diagnosis. You can't look at this guy and not have an opinion about him. There's just no way. He's got such great markings and lines on his face that just tells us he lived an interesting life. You can just hear this guy saying, "How you doing? How you doing?" So there are 9 face shapes. He's predominantly a bucket face. Bucket faces are thought leaders. They love to put things in a bucket. They love to think. They love to learn. They're intellectually very persistent. But there is some narrowness to his chin. So this is about fire face, fire energy, and he's very sensitive. So he's a very sensitive thinker. Um, Looking at him, you don't see sensitivity, but I'm telling you, he's a very sensitive thinker. He's got a very narrow hairline. His hairline comes into his eyebrows. This indicates some strict upbringing. He probably had to conform to parental wishes. Depending on how that went, it could have been good or bad. I'm sure he enjoyed his teen years, but I think his parents probably did not, based on his hairline and where the shape of the hairline is. There's another interesting thing about faces. We don't realize it till it's pointed out, but the right side of the face is what we show to the world. It's our public persona. It's what we want the world to see, and it's our mother's influence. It's really the right eye. The left eye is our truer inner private self, and it's our father's influence. So if we see something only on one side, there's a gender specificity to it. So if you covered up his left eye and just looked at the right, you're going to see an eye that is very loving, very pleasant. It's what he shows to the world. And he's a comedian. He wants to show that to the world. Cover up that right eye, and you're going to see anger in that left eye. And again, anger sometimes is the motivation for their humor. It's not a negative, it's just what they do to move forward. Health-wise, lots of indicators on his face. First of all, he's got a very strong constitution, so he doesn't know he's got a lot of the problems that could potentially come his way. So he wants to pay attention to his health. He's got some deep creases right up here. These are liver lines. The emotion of the liver is anger. We're going to beat on this emotional component throughout all these faces because I think it's important to understand what motivates them. And so anger would be part of his motivation. These lines are so deep, there's probably an inherited liver weakness. Liver's got 800 jobs, so 800 things can go wrong. Kind of an uncomfortable thought, but half those deal with digestion, the other half deal with detoxification. My guess is this is inherited, just how deep they are. So if you looked at his family tree, probably some alcoholism in the family tree would be my guess. There's some puffiness underneath his eyebrows. This is gallbladder, liver, gallbladder go together. But gas and bloating are the symptoms that you'll typically see with gallbladder weakness. Does has some lines here. A lot of digestive stuff. So there's a lot of digestive issues with this individual that he should pay attention to. These are things that are very correctable just with dietary changes, that type of thing. Underneath his eyes, there's some lines that come out of the corner. These are adrenal lines. Adrenal glands sit on top of our kidneys, and they have 2 jobs. Well, they got lots of jobs, but 2 main jobs. One is they produce cortisol, our stress hormone. The other is they produce cortisone, our own anti-inflammatory. So it's interesting. A person like him, when he's under a lot of stress, there's this huge demand for cortisol, our stress hormone. Therefore, there's not enough raw material to make cortisone, so he's going to have some aches and pains that are a little more untoward. Conversely, if he's in a lot of pain, there's going to be a huge demand for increased cortisone, and he doesn't have enough raw material to make cortisol. Therefore, get kind of cranky when you're in pain. So that would be part of his makeup. He has these falling lines that come out of here. They're too long. You don't want falling lines to go beyond the corner of the mouth. His are definitely long. This means there's been a lot of stress for a long period of time. Again, it's never are we under stress or are we stressed. It's do we adapt or do we maladapt. So there's been some maladaptation to stress. Does it make him a bad guy, a good guy? Neither. Nothing is good or bad in facial diagnosis. It just simply is. Got a hook-shaped line here, a bit of a prostate, and the tip of his nose has got a bit of a heart indicator. But again, the point here that I want you to get is we all do facial diagnosis. Looking at him, we all have an opinion of this guy. You can't look at him and not go, wow, there's some interesting traits. Hopefully this just puts some legs to what you see. Hope you enjoyed Joey. Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Frisch, and I read faces. Would you like to read faces? Would you like to become adept at reading faces? If so, we have a masterclass. Simply go to WTFWhyTheFace.com and click on Masterclass. It'll change your life.